All right, guys. So this is our UFC only MMA live stream. We went live once earlier today. So if you were on that live stream, we broke down the fights coming up. We got a fight card in about 6 hours here in Australia, headlined by Max McIntyre. We got some action on that card. By now, you should see all my picks. We got about four tickets that are live. So all the JSB insiders, check the YouTube members only section. The Patreons, the new Patreons, check the Patreon section. We're gonna go. I'm gonna bring on for anybody who's a JSB insider who wants to come on this live. I know Ali wants to come on. I know Christos says he wants to come on. Youngin, you could come on and we'll build parlays together and we'll use it as a new segment. I'm always looking for new ways, new ideas to be more interactive with our community. So I'm going to put the link in our Discord. And for anybody who wants to join, feel free to join our professional betting community. It's a couple bucks a month. The link is pinned there. You could join on YouTube or Patreon. You get access to all the tips. You get access to our 530 plus professional betting community. It's all pro sports. Our bread and butter is boxing and MMA, but every pro sport you could think of. We have an individual channel with individual sharps. We stream all the fights. The value, $5 a month. It's peanuts, really. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to share the link. I'm going to put the link in the Discord. So if you're in the Discord, you want to come on, here it is, invite guests. All right. So there's that. When you're checking in, like the video. I'll wait a couple minutes. We'll see. We'll bring the odds up. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of good fights. The card's actually stacked. I don't know if you guys were watching the press conference. McGregor did what Conor always does, selling fights. Great. Is there anyone better at him than selling a fight? You know what I mean? He gets in Max's face, throws his glasses off of his head. Max reaches for a handshake. He makes it really personal. Conor, that's the genius of McGregor. So we're gonna get started here shortly. Young Money says, Johnny, give us a lock. There's no such thing as locks, Young Money. Anything can happen in the fight game. Anything can happen, but we'll get into it. We'll go over all this in a second. I'm gonna wait. We're a couple minutes in. There's already 20 of you in here. We're a boxing channel, but you guys know I've been watching I've been highly involved in the MMA community since I was a kid. What's up, most confident picks? All right, we'll start here. What's up, most confident picks, favorite dogs? Let's get into it. All right, so we'll at first look at the fights. We'll go through the fights. Look at the odds. Durden Costa on a parlay. I have Costa on a separate parlay. Gandra Reese. I don't have action on Gandra Reese. I know in the Discord, Gandra's a popular pick with some of the boys. At one time, the Basharat brothers were guys who people thought were going to be perennial contenders. So I think Basharat gets the dub here against Garza. I know the boys in the Discord like Pinas over Almeida. I don't have action on that fight. Cortez versus Kong. I mean, you're getting Cortez at plus money. You bet on this at your own risk. I don't have action on this fight. Luke Riley versus Kai. This is a fun fight. The MMA betting is all about who's hot, who's not, who's the hype one, who has more shine at the current moment. That's obviously Luke Riley. You should know this guy from Cage Warriors. Luke Riley is a guy that is a popular pick. I've seen people taking him on the money line. I've seen people taking him by knockout. Kai Kamaka could punch, though. Kai Kamaka is a vet now. We've seen him, break in when he was younger, get cut, and then make his way back. It's a decent matchup. It's going to be a good challenge for Luke Riley. I haven't seen many Kai Kamaka bet slips in my Discord. I've seen a lot of Luke Riley bet slips in the Discord. Personally, I don't have a play on Riley versus Kamaka yet. Now, Garbrandt versus Yanez. Garbrandt's an Ohio kid. Shout out to Cleveland. I'm generally a loyalist here, but I've known Adrian. I actually know Adrian Yanez personally. And, I've watched Yanez come up through the regional scene. At one time, he was part of a sort of, promotional company that I was running during the pandemic. And, so I have a personal relationship with Yanez. I love his boxing. I love his striking. I think on any given night, Yanez could fight at the highest level. I think this is a great matchup for Adrian. Great boxing. Cody's going to box with him. I like Yanez here on the money line. Stevenson, those odds are terrible. You can't even play that. 4% return on a 1,000. You know what I'm saying? 4%, whatever your unit is, you get 4% back. That's unplayable. You'll have to get sexy with the method of victory. And I'm going to dissect each one as we go on. So, we'll look at the odds method of victory. We'll look at there's a lot of popular prop bets in MMA betting. Will the fight go the distance? Yes or no? Over and under rounds, submission, knockout, sub, etc. Will go the distance. So, you guys let me know what you like. Robert Whittaker is debuting at light heavyweight. This is his third weight class. At this stage of the game, statistically speaking, at this stage of UFC fighters' careers, when guys are sort of trying to figure things out later on in their Whittaker's another fighter that I personally know. I'm gonna watch this fight as a fan. I'm not gonna bet this fight. Nikita Krylov, he's big, long, aggressive. He's gonna pose some danger to Whittaker. So I'm not gonna bet that. I wish him well. I hope he gets out of that. Hopefully Whittaker gets his hand raised. Whittaker was I think Whittaker, when you talk about size and physicality, was probably like the perfect build for 185. 6'1", broad shoulders, broad base, athletic, explosive, could strike, was awkward with his kicks, could grapple, wrestling was on point. There's a reason he's a world champion. At light heavyweight, that's a big, big jump, man. He's gonna be undersized pretty much against anyone he goes up against at light heavy. So hopefully he does well. I'm cheering for him. King Green versus McKinney. This is kind of one of those fights where you talk about prop bets. Will the fight? Some of the prop bets, that are kind of, I don't want to say no brainers. King Green, McKinney. Will the fight go the distance? No. Will the fight start the second round? No. McKinney knockout first round. Will somebody get knocked out in the first round? Yeah. So I would prop that. The money line is sexy, whichever way you like it. Bobby Green's a hard one for me as a bettor to get a read on as a bettor. When I bet against him, he wins. When I bet on him, he loses. So you guys know that. You guys know all about that. The longer you bet on fights, you'll pick up fighters that you're good with, that you win on, and you'll pick up fighters who just burn you. Bobby Green is, for me, my wallet is notorious, been burning my wallet for at least 5 years. You know what I'm saying? So I think I'm going to prop that fight. Royval versus Lonnie Kavanaugh. Lonnie Kavanaugh is a whole dog. They call Brandon Royval a raw dog for a reason. I got Lonnie on the money line on this fight. I paired Lonnie up with another fighter. I have a double with Lonnie on the money line. And one other fighter. I put that in the Discord. It's plus money. I rate Kavanaugh a lot. Corey versus Batista. I like Mario here. I sniped Mario at the beginning of the week. Right now he's $1.14 on the money line. I got him at $1.55, I think. So the money's kind of evening out. I talked about Sandhagen. I think Sandhagen's run, we're talking like world title run, was 2 years ago. Like peak Corey, I feel, was 2 years ago, maybe even a little bit longer than that. I think we're witnessing Mario Batista's run. I think he's in it. And I think with that being said, I like Batista's to edge this one. Corey will give him issues. That's a sneaky great fight, by the way. And same thing with Saint Denis and Patty. At the beginning of the week, Patty was $1.65 plus 165. He's down to plus 125. What I've done is I parlayed Batista and Patty on the same ticket. So it pays about plus 450 if you take both dogs. So I did a dog money line parlay. I like Patty to beat Saint Denis. I think Patty's wrestling. I think it's going to be enough to beat Saint Denis. Sadine, obviously know what we get. We know what we get with both guys. Both guys have very predictable styles. And so from there, betting on it, you just got to pick what style do you think you're going to bet on. Saint Denis is going to want to stay on the feet. Saint Denis is going to want to keep Patty punching with him. The thing about Patty is he'll oblige. Patty uses his boxing, his striking as a gateway to where he really wants to be on the ground. He wants to shoot that double. Sometimes he shoots the single, drives it, and then he wants to get you on the ground. Great grappler, high level grappler, but he'll punch with you. We've seen that in his career. Patty's another kid that I've covered since he was 17. So I've watched Patty's entire career. Scouser, we don't get knocked out. So I'm cheering for. I like Patty here. I'm gonna lean on Patty's grappling and wrestling to be too much for Saint Denis. And then you got Connor and Max. I think these odds are fair. It's tough for me to get off the 5 years. Connor's really been on a yacht for 5 years. I don't like what Connor has looked like all week. I don't like what he looked like doing media. We talked about it in the first live stream. We'll see on the scales in 2 days. We'll see how he looks like on the scales. But he looks a bit flat. His body, his physique, it doesn't look normal. Max, a lot of wear and tear. Max is a living legend. They fought once 13 years ago in 2013 when Max was, I think, 21 years old. I was just watching that fight just as a nerd right before I went live. I forgot that Max dropped Connor in that fight. And then that's the fight that Connor tore his ACL in a grappling exchange. They were transitioning and he in a striking exchange, Connor was so sharp in that fight. That was, he's slipping, throwing the lead uppercut. You never see that. You never see that in MMA, man. Young Connor, his tape is so fun to watch from a striking perspective. He comes out in this split karate stance and he's slipping off the midline and then throwing the lead uppercut. And then he'll add to that. He would slip off the midline, throw the lead uppercut, and throw the backhand behind it. Beautiful stuff, which, even to this day in MMA, you don't really see striking combinations. You never see lead uppercut to backhand in MMA. You know what I mean? So Connor and Max was eating everything, and that went to the cards. He lost the decision. So let's see. I'm going to catch up to the chat. Yeah, I think you're safe there. 4%, though, isn't really enough for you to it's just not bettable on the money line. We'll get to the props in a second. Appreciate you, Young Money. I appreciate it. Kyle Hayden, back at it. Yeah, this is the UFC MMA stream. You guys asked for it. I'm exhausted, by the way, boys. It is 1:45 p.m. I've been going at it. My first client was 6 a.m. This is my second live stream of the day. I've had 6 sessions. So I've had 6 different clients at my gym here in Sydney. I've trained twice today. If I'm a bit low energy, that's why. Yanya's decision. I can see that the scary thing, since you bring up the first prop, Cody, we'll start there. My issue with that though is both of their styles. Do you know what I'm saying? Cody's chin worries me. His mindset doesn't. We know Cody's going to be brave. Cody will believe that he's a world champion until he retires, right? So he has that determination in his style. One of my all-time favorite knockouts was when he knocked out Rafael Sunsao at the end of I think it was the end of the first round. He has a Sunsao up against the octagon, and Cody slips, and that's the one where he slips and goes down and throws a hook from his ankles and catches his Sunsao clean and knocks him out pretty much at the buzzer, either at the end of the first or the end of the second. So Garbrandt is a guy who has faith in his power. It's just his durability and his chin that give me a little bit hesitation into thinking that Yanez can't knock him out. When you look when Adrian broke onto the scene out of, his first, he started 4-0 in the UFC with 4 knockouts. So the kid's boxing is crispy. Great timing in the pocket, great accuracy in the pocket. He doesn't overpunch. I put Yanez, when we're talking about boxing, UFC boxing, I put him in the category of Ilia Topuria, um, technical boxing, Joshua Van. I put Yanez's boxing right up there with those guys. And quick hands, good punch placement, will work the body. So I actually like Yanez by knockout here. I think that might be a prop that I play plus 103. That's probably the move. I don't know if you're you're point hunting here. If you're seeing Adrian on points at plus 220, if you like that because the odds are better, or if you think both guys are going to go the distance. Will Garbrandt be as tough as Ricky Simone? I thought Yanez, you know, that should have been a dub. I would have. That was a weekend where I would have hit all of my tickets if we got the decision on that. They didn't get Yanez beat the brakes off him, especially in that third round. So I think with Yanez's power, his accuracy, his punch placement, mixed with Garbrandt's wear and tear, his fragility, the questions we have on his chin, we've seen it. I think Yanez stops him. So I think I'm going to add that to my notes. We're gonna do a part. That's gonna be piece one, part one of our live stream parlay we're doing right now. Is I'll put this in while we're on, so you guys know. I'm taking Yanez by knockout, and we're getting him at plus 103. And we'll do a fun one. We'll do a little youngin moonshot parlay sort of thing. Shout out to youngin. All right, so let's piece that up. So that is giving us. I'm gonna add Yanez by knockout to our parlay. All right, what's next? I'm gonna catch up with the chat. Stevenson moneyline, no vig. Yeah, you can't play Stevenson moneyline. I'm just gonna follow the chat. Whichever comment brings up the next UFC fight, we're gonna pick one there. The funny thing is, Kamzat is gonna follow him there. Everyone seems to be picking Max. You don't think we may be able... I hope Connor wins. I'm cheering for McGregor, but I'm picking Max. I hope, dude. Could you once again on this point? If you're a true blue fight fan and you just love the game, whether it's boxing or MMA, you're gonna be like me. You're gonna be a hopeless romantic. We like comeback stories. We like, the hero's journey. I want Connor to win. It's hard for me to get past the lifestyle choices, the 5 years of inactivity, the last few times we've seen him in the octagon, the horrific lower leg injury. Good and goddamn well, Max Holloway is going to be targeting that lower leg right off jump. I guarantee it. That's what I would do. 100%. I would be. We're gonna test that. We're gonna see if that leg's 100%. I'm gonna force you to check some kicks. I'm gonna check some kicks. I'm gonna force you to kick back. And that's gonna be my game plan. I'm gonna start chopping at those legs. If I'm Max. Max will punch with Connor. Both guys. I'm expecting both guys to look a bit sluggish. You know what I mean? They're fighting at 170. This is a young man's sport. They fought when they last fought. It was 13 years ago. They both weighed in at 145. Insane. So, are we looking past Connor? I don't think anyone's looking past Connor. Just because I'm betting on Max doesn't mean I'm looking past somebody. That's like, we have to do this logically. I think a lot of people are taking Connor. I posted something on my Instagram last night. I got at least 5 DMs from people talking shit because I questioned Conor McGregor. Same thing with Errol Spence. I told you guys that. I did a short 2 days ago just questioning Errol Spence's health. Been getting trolled. I mean, the short has like 130,000 views, which is great. I never get that many views, but the comments are insane. So Connor's one of these guys. If you just question anything, people think you're overlooking him. I'm not betting on him though. From I respect I appreciate you, Young Money. Appreciate you, Kyle. Odds based, yeah. Okay, so Cody, if you're odds based on that, I don't like it. If I liked it, I'd let you know. You could still like from a stylistic matchup with Cody and Adrian, how they fight, how their fights trend to end. I know Adrian went the distance in his last fight against Ricky, but that fight could have. Ricky's a really, really tough, durable grappler wrestler. You know what I mean? That's not Cody. So you're still getting plus money by knockout. And I guarantee, probably by tomorrow, Yanez by knockout isn't plus money. So we don't have to get too sexy on it. You can take points. I'm not trying to talk you out of it. Okay, so Patty goes. Cody, let's go to the Patty Saint Denis fight. This is another one, bro. This one is this one's interesting. All right, so here's what I suggest. And this is just for building the parlay. So this is just my philosophy. I'm not saying I'm right. I would never say you have to listen to me. If anything, I respect you more if you follow your own intuition and you don't. If you agree with me, you could listen, but I don't want you to just listen because I'm telling you. That's not what I'm doing here. But my philosophy of betting, whether it's boxing or MMA, when you ask me, should I take Patty by sub, and I'm looking at the sub price plus 600, very tantalizing. Plus 600, bro. That's insane, right? But the way I bet, and I don't know what your bankroll is, I'm already getting Patty a plus money on the money line. You know what I'm saying? I'm already getting him at plus money. So through my experience, years and years of doing this, why I don't want to burn an underdog on my parlay by getting sexy and taking a method of victory. When what if he stops him? What if Patty wins by any other way other than sub, and you leave the plus money on the table on the money line because we got sexy trying to pick a method. So you could add the sub. I'm gonna add Patty to our parlay at plus money. And so Yanez by knockout, Patty at plus money. We're already at plus 356. You know what? For the sake, I already have Pimblett on a multi, on a double. So I'm gonna remove him. And if you guys are new to the game, what I'm teaching you are my own strategies. I already have Pimblett on a double. I took Pimblett as a dog, and I took another guy as a dog. So let's say Pimblett loses. I'd rather only lose one ticket if Pimblett loses than have two tickets crash. That's another philosophy that I bet on, because I've created. I'm always looking at ways strategically how to win consistently week in and week out. If I'm taking a dog, I go into this wanting to win every ticket. You're like, okay, what if he wins? He's won on both tickets. I get that, but I have to play it from the back end. So I'm not gonna. I already have Patty on a ticket. I like Patty on the money line. I'm not putting him on this live stream parlay. So we'll move on. Because if he loses, we lose two tickets. You know what I'm saying? So we'll move on. So let's look at Gable. Let's look at props on Gable. This is Gable's first fight in the UFC. I mean, 40%. Are we tripping? I think 40% is a steal. When you watch Alicia Ellison's tape and you know what Gable Stevenson is bringing to the table and you look at his style, I don't want to say he's tailor-made, but look, like Gable Stevenson, he's going to stop him. For me, not being greedy, $1.40 is a great parlay piece. I'm going to add it, a 40% return. I'm not saying I'm betting if I bet 1,000 on that, I'll get 400 back. I know guys who bet that way. So I'm taking it. I know a lot of the boys are going to want to get smart, and they're probably going to want to pick around, and then they'll want to go like Gable Stevenson to win in the first 30 seconds. Gable Stevenson, round one, 172. Look at these odds. So this is another example. Let's say that Ellison toughs it out. You take the 172. Look, it goes from 172 to 8-1. I'm going to roll the dice. I'm taking Gable first round knockout. I'm going to add that to our parlay. So right now we got Yanez by knockout at plus 103 anytime. We got Gable first round. He has 5 minutes to get this guy out of there. I think it's going to happen early. And those two were at plus 249. So we're going to move on. Let's continue. Cowboy Cody. What's up, playa? All right, where else are we going to go? I heard some people taking Cable. Yeah, first 60 seconds. I like Cowboy Cable. Cowboy Cody is a solid name. Boss Christos in the house. Bro, you jumping on? If anybody who's in the Discord wants to come on this live, I put the link, the private link, so you could come on the screen and spit game. It's in there. Let me know. We're 26 minutes in. Like the video. Gable will kill this man round one. He's not toughing this out. Yeah. Yeah, so maybe the 60-second bet. What is that paying? I'm not gonna do this because the 60-second bet is insane. Is this our money? Do we do 60-second bet? For Gable to win in the first 30 seconds, it's only plus 625. I'm going to keep the first round knockout. I think a 72% return. Gable should be able to get him out of there in 5 minutes. You have 5 whole minutes to work. All right, where are we? Round one is good. Yeah, I'm going to keep round one. Cody Durden is another one of these guys that when I bet against him, this fool will come in on short notice as a 4-1 dog, and I bet against him, and he wins. And then he'll be a 3-1 favorite, and then he loses. So Cody Durden's a no bet for me. I think I took Costa. Durden will probably upset. I have Costa maybe on a parlay. I'm not quite sure. Maybe I don't. Ryan Gandra versus Zachary Reese. Guys, we need a third fight to throw on this parlay. I need your help here. This is one that I'm going to... Let's probably add 3 more legs. Pick another fight, guys. We have Yanez by knockout. We have Stevenson by knockout in round 1. What's the chat like? This is our parlay we're building, so I need your help. Costa knockout. Let's go to it. Okay. Shout out to Cowboy Cody. All right, so we're looking at Costa. We're looking at these odds. Costa by knockout plus 225. Let's go to Alessandro Costa's Tapology real quick. This is me phoning a friend. (16-5). 2-fight win streak. 5'4". He just fought last month. Is this a different Costa? No, this is the same Costa. Oh, this is the dude who starched Matt Schnell. Oh, this kid has good hands. You don't think you guys aren't worried about Durden here? What's up with Costa getting knocked down a couple times with an elite uppercut, though? So Amir Albazi stops him, uppercut, ground and pound. And Aiden Correa stops him, uppercut, follow-up punches. So do we like this? Are we I'll put it on. It looks good, especially where he's trending. Christos, it's in the Discord, bro. Go to the MMA chat. I put it in the Discord. Okay, I'm gonna take Cowboy Cody's lead. I'm gonna take Alessandro Costa by knockout at plus 225. All right, we're at plus 1,000. We're at plus 1,000. We'll go two more. This will be our live stream moonshot parlay. I can't see Link Durden's wash. I like Gandra round one. Gandra round one. No distance. Green McKinney. Yeah, let's go. Let's Manny Alvarez says look at the Gandra fight. I mean the money line odds are pretty tempting. I mean Gandra at 73% return is already nice, isn't it? And then his knockouts plus money. I might just we could double our odds right now and just take Gandra by knockout. Not get sexy, not have to pick around. Gandra by knockout will take us from plus 1,000 to plus 2,000. I say we do it. Do you guys want to sign off Gandra by knockout? We're getting plus money. I don't want to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that. I don't want to get too fancy. I've already taken one first round knockout. I don't want to press my luck. So if we take Gandra by knockout, we're at plus 2,200. Plus 2,200. So we got Al in the waiting room. I'm going to leave him there until we pick one more. So, Al, I hear you, bro. We're going to bring Al on, and then if anyone else and the boss Christos is here too. So you guys, we're going to keep them in. We're going to pick one more. You boys will come on in a second. So who's our fifth one, guys? You said Bobby. You think you like Bobby Green over McKinney? So I'm gonna put this in right now. So we have Costa by knockout. Okay, we have Ryan. We have Costa by knockout. We have Adrian Yanez by knockout. I want to put this in before I bring the boys on because I don't want to, in case we disagree on something, I want to stand on business and post this because I really like this one. So it's Yanez by knockout. Gable Stevenson knockout round one. Gable Stevenson knockout TKO. 172. We need one more, guys. Give me one more. Our fourth one is Ryan Gandra by knockout at plus 107. Method of victory. Okay, right now we're at plus 2,200. Durden will wrestle when hurt. Not going to lie. Could see it cost a sub. Green. Can you throw that slip? Yeah, I'll throw it in the MMA Discord. I'm going to then add my fifth one. I think what I'm going to do is... Wow, Luke Riley on points. No. Rob Whitaker, McKinney, Lonnie Kavanaugh, Sanhagen, Patty. Let's see McKinney Green. Will fight go the distance? Will fight go the distance is only $1.04. Max money line because it's free money. I think I already have Max on a double. Whitaker or Riley. Can you throw the slip? You know what? Maybe we'll go. You think Whitaker beats Krylov? You guys think Whitaker beats Krylov? Luke Riley. We'll take Luke Riley on the money line. We'll get some action. We're at that's a plus 3,000. I'm gonna play it. All right, I'll share this in the Discord. Boom, I'm locked in. All right, I'm gonna bring the boys on now. That's plus 3,000 if you take, and I'll go over this real quick. And then I'm gonna bring Ali on. I'm gonna bring Christos on. And we did the last one was Riley. Okay. So it's plus 3,000 if you go Yanya's by knockout, and I have action on this. I'm going to share it in the Discord, and I'm sharing it with you guys now. Yanya's by knockout. Gable Stevenson knockout round 1. Costa by knockout. Gandra by KO. Luke Riley money line. Plus 3,000. 100 gets you 3,000. So rock and roll. All right, boys. I'm bringing the boys on. Add to stage. Ollie, you're live.
What's going on, Johnny?
Christos, you're live.
Hey Johnny, how
Christos.
are you? How
All
are
right,
you, Al?
boys.
How you doing,
What's up,
Christos?
gentlemen?
Good, bro.
Oh
How are you?
man, plus 3,000. You going crazy, Johnny?
It's for it's for the boys, man. You know, we haven't done an MMA only live stream in a while, and these are kind of fun when we piece them together live together. So if anything, for the guys
I
who don't
like it.
really watch, yeah, for the guys who really don't watch the sport, it gives them maybe some interest to see if it hits or not.
You know what? If it hits, I mean, hopefully you get 1,000 more subscribers. and
Yeah, yeah. I
on
guess
that
I'm.
note, if you new to this to Johnny Knows Boxing, hit the subscribe. Trust me, it's one of the best investment. Great community, great minds. If you have a parlay, you have a piece, you're always gonna get somebody who actually do this. Give some type of takes. So go ahead, Johnny.
Appreciate you. No,
Who's this?
I want to say shout out to our community. Finally, Christos is we get to meet Christos, hear his voice. I want to give the
Thanks,
stage to
guys.
you two boys, man. I want to hear you guys are really active in our chat, and maybe talk a little bit about some of the fights you like and some of your takes.
I'm gonna give some of my takes, but go ahead, Christos. I'm gonna let you take the lead.
Yeah, well, the fight that I'm looking forward to the most is Bautista and Corey Sandhagen. I personally reckon that's probably the most like high technical and um, very technical matchup, and yeah, I just can't wait to see. Like, I'm starting with Bautista, but I definitely not counting Corey Sandhagen out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like the way Corey Sanhagen talks about like the art of striking and the way he explains like his artwork and stuff. But yeah, I feel like Bautista's evolved a lot too. So yeah, it's just going to be a very interesting matchup. Who do you guys favor in that one?
For me, Bautista is really obsessive compulsive. And
Yeah,
he's one of those dudes, if you do something to him, he goes and he trains it like repetitively. So
yeah,
in that fight, I watched the first fight, and I think that was Bautista's actual first UFC fight. I feel like in this fight, Bautista is a seasoned veteran. This is probably his like ninth or 10th training camp. I
yeah.
feel like if you're gonna bet Mario Bautista inside the distance decision, no action. I feel like
You think he gets him out of
Bautista.
there?
No, I feel like he's the most dangerous one out of the two at this point in their career. Because
Yeah,
Corey Sandhagen has been in 4 straight wars. You know, remember the Peter Yan fight? He got hurt. Remember
yeah,
he got pretty much just dominated in the Nurmagomedov fight, but he got hurt badly in the Marab fight, and Marab, took a back step. I don't think Mario Batista would. My lean is Corey Sandhagen money line because he's just the more technical fighter. But I
yeah,
feel that he's technical until he get hurt. And Mario Bautista, he showed us in the last fight with Vic, I forgot Oliveira, that he can finish you. And the
yeah.
pace that he put on Apache Mix, my lean is Corey Sandhagen. What about you, Johnny?
I like Bautista plus money. I like where Bautista plus 114. I was thinking all week. This is Christos. I agree with you. This is there's a few of these fights on this card with really excellent matchmaking between really skilled guys. Sandhagen, when you look at the trajectory of UFC fighters in terms of potential world title contenders or world titleists, that window, that sort of range of a prime is usually under 3 years. And I think the best of Corey would have been maybe that run already happened. You know what I'm saying? Like he
Yeah.
didn't quite make it. It would have been maybe 2 years
I'm with
ago.
you.
And I think with Mario, like you talked about the first fight, you talk about his sort of competitiveness. This is I don't want to call him a mean guy, but this is a guy who lives that lifestyle. Sandhagen, very philosophical, like you said. I saw that Rogan podcast he was on a while ago. He's very sort of like into spirituality and like the art of striking, that sort of thing. He's a fighter. Batista, I think he has this edge to him. The energy he brings. I think if he can make Sandhagen uncomfortable and make Sandhagen have to counter him and kind of come back and fight from the ground, sort of like beat down on the cards. I think if Mario could start as the hammer and be up and keep it that way, I think I like Mario at plus money on the money line.
Yeah,
So
That's
you
that
definitely
know,
a good bet.
I do have that play. I doubled him. I took him on the money line at plus money.
would have to counter you just with this. If anybody who's leaning Mario Bautista, just in case it goes to a split decision, consider betting the plus 3.5. And
Mm-hmm.
basically what that means is Mario Bautista cannot be 30-27 in none of the rounds. So if Mario Bautista wins one round, so let's say it's 29-28 Bautista, 29-28 Corey Sandhagen, 29-28 Corey Sandhagen, then uh that plus 335 is going to win you the fight, even if he loses. Now if he wins by split decision, you automatically win, or if he wins by a finish, he automatically wins. So I feel like you get lesser odds. You're not going to get that plus 125. You might get a minus 200, but it's worth it because of the skill level of Corey Sandhagen. Okay.
No, he is good. And I'm looking at his Sandhagen. No, he got Aljo stopped him. I'm trying to think when he got stopped. Only been stopped, I think, what, once, Aljo?
By
Yeah, that's
submission?
it. But that's it by submission. He got Aljo hit him, took his back, and then submitted him. And that's the thing about Corey Sandhagen. He can get the physicality lies with Mario Bautista. You know what I mean? But Mario Bautista, you know what I mean? Like it's weird because sometimes he's a great minute winner because he'll get you to the cage, he'll hit you with these small punches. He can out physicality
Man,
Corey Sandhagen. He can
yeah,
manhandle him. Exactly.
yeah.
He can man. But another play would be this
Oh,
fight starts round 3.
yeah. Listen to that. This is crazy. He's new to the UFC. Trevin Jones stops him in 2021. In the last 5 years, Batista's beaten Jay Perrin, Brian Callahan, Benito Lopez, Guino Canetti, Damone Blackshear, Ricky Simone, Josie Aldo, Patchy Mix. His only losses to Umar Nurmagomedov, and then he just rear naked Oliveira. I
Yeah,
think he's
which
I think he's
he looked
underappreciated.
He is
yeah,
undervalued.
he looked really good in that fight as well.
To be
Yeah.
honest, if he never lost to Corey Sandhagen, if he have never lost to Corey Sandhagen, I feel like this will be minus 110 on both ends. You know what I mean? And I would even
Wow. That was
I
7 years ago.
yes. You know what I mean? Because like he did better against Umar. He actually hurt Umar Nurmagomedov, where
Yeah,
Corey Sandhagen there was no minutes where I could be like,
no
oh, Corey
success.
Sand, yeah, yeah, exactly. So like there's a chance that he can hurt Corey Sandhagen on the feet as well, because we're seeing Corey's chin not hold up. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that he's he's old news, but he's not the same fighter he was when he first came in. You know what I mean?
I
That
agree.
chin, because
Mm.
it's too many wars. That Peter Yan war, it took something out of him. You know what I mean?
Dillashaw,
Like
the Dillashaw
Dillashaw.
fight,
Oh my
Yeah,
God!
that was a war.
that was a crazy fight, dude.
And Dillashaw
Killer.
won with his knee ripped in half. You know what I mean? His meniscus was tore or something like that, which tells you a lot about Dillashaw. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, so fight start. My props is fight goes over a round and a half. Mario Batista 3.5 plus 3.5. And fight starts round 3. I just don't. I feel like if there is a stoppage, it's going to be late. I feel like they
Okay.
both can survive. So go ahead.
Boys, do you think this goes the distance for the will the fight go the distance betters? Because for it to not go the distance, it's plus 163. For it to go the cards, you get 45% return back.
I believe
Yeah,
it can go the distance.
I
Go
think
ahead.
there's a good chance of it going to the distance as well.
Yeah. I mean, because Mario know how to survive and Corey know how to survive. And then the
I
thing
mean,
about Mario is he ties up a lot. So a lot of this fight, I feel, is going to take place in the clinch. So
yeah.
yeah. So yeah,
So Christos, you brought this fight up. What's your
Yeah,
final prediction?
I'm leaning with Mario Bautista, but
Okay.
I'm also going to go with the 1.5 over as well.
Okay. Are you on? And I know you're Aussie. Are you on? The sports bet have that prop? The over
Um,
one.
I, I, I believe Sportsbet have 2.5 over, but Bet365 has 1.5 over.
Okay. What is that paying you?
Yeah.
So winning round, total rounds, over. Yeah. Oh, the over 2.5 in on sports bet is $1.36.
I mean that's decent. Assuming that they both are not trying to fight for that $100,000 bonus. It just seemed like ever
That's
since
interesting. That's
UFC
interesting.
upped that $100,000 bonus, now you're seeing a lot more people just scrap. They're just like they're fighting outside of their. But the funny thing is, you got two seasoned veterans, and they know that a win is needed. So I would lean. I would still lean the over. So like over 2.5 is interesting though, to say the least. Because
Okay.
of that $100,000 bonus. So I'm just saying this for anybody out there, big ballers trying to like maybe I bet 1,000, I get 700. Be
Yeah.
wary because that $100,000 bonus has changed the way fighters fight.
That's a good point. So we got one of the JSB insiders, Love Snatch. He brings up two fights that I really didn't. They weren't on my radar. I talked about them, but I'm not. I don't have any plays or action on it. Do either one of you boys have any action on Pinas or Wang? Wang is fighting Tracy, and Pinas is fighting Cesar Almeida.
What I
Yeah,
like about go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
that's all good. Yeah, I like Damian Pinas money line and maybe a sprinkle on the KO as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think his physicality is going to be a bit too much. Like Cesar Almeida is a great kickboxer. He's got a win over Pole Time as well. But
Yeah.
he is getting up there in age, and I just think his reflexes are really not the same. And I think Damian Pinas is just going to impose his will a bit on him.
Boys, that knockout is plus money. So anybody who's still looking for some sneaky props, Damian Penis by knockout right now is plus 103. And I guarantee as we inch closer to fight night, that's not going to be
Yeah,
plus money. That
and
that fight and the money line, 41% return is great return value on a parlay if your bankroll is heavy. So that's a good eye on Love Snatch. How about Tracy Cortez fight?
Um, let me. I think with the Tracy Cortez fight, Tracy Cortez, a good prop is that Tracy Cortez gets at least one takedown. I've watched like all of Kong Wayne's fight, and I can say this right here. Her technique is crazy on her backhand, and that's what's dropping girls because she's sitting on her backhand and she's lining you up. Like
yeah,
she's one of the only girls who can do setups and actually line girls up and drop them. And we seen Tracy Cortez get hurt in that Aaron Blanchfield fight where she was dominating the whole time. So
Yeah.
my thing is, I think that Tracy Cortez is going to get at least one takedown for a prop. You know what I mean? And if you're going to do a same game parlay, I believe the fight also starts in round two because Tracy Cortez is as dominant as she is as a wrestler. She's not that dominant as in grappling. You
that's
know,
right. Yeah,
so I would say Tracy Cortez gets at least one takedown, and the fight starts round two. And the main reason I'm saying that is because I feel like Tracy hesitation. She's gonna wait. They're both counter strikers. So like a lot of people's like, oh, she's gonna knock her out. I'm like, she's a counter. Like Tracy Cortez is a counter striker. And she utilizes. She waits for you to commit to a shot, and then she takes her. She goes for a takedown. And
Yeah, she
come
shoots.
and Wang doesn't have the best takedown defense. She's been taken down in almost every fight
yeah,
except
she
the
has been
Victoria
controlled.
fight. And like even Mora, And this is for anybody listening. I know a lot of people don't got time. I watched that fight, her last fight with Mora. She got taken down in round one. She got taken down in round two, and she got taken down in round three. And she almost stopped Mora in round one. If she didn't
with,
hurt
yeah, with the rear
Mora,
naked.
yeah, if she didn't hurt Mora in round one, that fight could have been easily scored towards Mora 29-28. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been tossing up and turning with this Wang Kong and Tracy. Like, I know she's got the grappling edge, and but I'm just not sure if she can be able to keep Wang Kong too long on the ground.
And
I
That's what
think,
that was my question. Boys, I'm glad you brought that up. That was my biggest hesitation why I haven't played this fight is Cortez's grappling, is that good enough to nullify Kong Wang and keep her on the ground, and then to what does she do from there?
Tracy has
yeah,
very heavy hips, and she utilized, like obviously she got a lot of other stuff, but she has very heavy hips, and that's how she's able to control girls on the ground when she gets them there. The problem, I mean, like, to be honest with you, initially I was like, oh, this is Tracy Cortez. But after watching Kong Wang versus Mora, and Mora wasn't able to submit her, I honestly think that when the fight hits the feet, this fight might end up leaning 29-28 Kong Wang or Wang Kong.
Yeah,
You
because
know,
yeah,
Tracy could take a punch. She's durable. She's one of the she'll strike with you, but against a better striker, she's gonna come out on the short end of it.
the more like this is stylistically, this is not a good fight for her because every girl that she fight that has a little bit more masculinity than her. Just I mean, maybe the pituitary gland is producing just a little bit more testosterone. She
Ha!
has a
No, I get
she,
it. I get
she
it.
has a problem because like if you look at her and Rose Namajunas, like I heard somebody say, "Oh, Rose knocked her eyelash off," and I'm like, "Yeah," because Rose is an actual seasoned striker, and this is
Yeah,
the second seasoned striker that she's gonna fight where she might look stupid on her feet because sometimes she crashes in as well. She's a counter
yeah,
striker, but then
yeah,
she crashes it. Like for instance, with the Aaron Blanchfield fight, she was doing good until she was doing bad. I'm like,
yep.
you're fucking winning. You're minus money. How are you? And then she just, and then she just quit. So I feel like Kong Wang is the edge. I'm
yeah.
sorry to
Okay,
say
I
I
that.
mean it's
agree.
great on the money line. It's great value either side of the way. I'm kind of slightly leaning Kong Wang as well. It's
Yeah.
currently for me a no bet. Boys, if we checked your slips, do you have either one of these? Is this fight on either one of your slips?
The prop, the one takedown and fight starts round two will be in
Uh huh.
my slip.
Okay. How
Yeah,
about you, Christos?
I've got Kong Wang on the money line
Yeah, I
in a
don't hate it.
parlay.
After chatting with you boys, I'm like 70-30 now with Kong Wang.
Yeah,
I forgot
I
about
like.
her backhand. I forgot about her backhand.
Yeah, she
And
also
if
with Uriah Faber as well too. So I reckon
Yeah,
I
alpha
believe that
male.
I believe they're gonna have a well prepared like game
Yeah,
plan
and
takedown
I want to say
for
one
defense.
more thing
Tracy.
about this fight. I want to say one more thing about this fight. If Kong Wang is the dog, she is a good plus 3.5 because again, I don't think that Tracy can actually like hurt her on her feet. I feel like
Yeah,
she's long. I mean, before Kung Wayne got submitted, she was on the front foot heavy, trying to like stop every girl. Like I feel
yeah,
like if she just relaxed against Fernandez and played counterpuncher, she would have won that fight easy. But she was on the front foot because she treated everybody like Victoria Leonardo. She's gonna know to be on the back foot. And
Yeah.
we seen that fight. We seen that fight. She's gonna be on the back foot starting the beginning of round, the middle of round two, because she kind of slows down. But her strikes doesn't. Her pace does, but not her output. If that makes any sense. So like, anyway,
Yeah.
the so
Victoria
if Conway,
Leonardo was like the female Timu version of RoboCop. Like her style.
oh my,
Like
yes,
that was crazy.
yes,
That was like post-pandemic fighters breaking through the UFC. Crazy. No
RoboCop
shade on
no
Leonardo.
steroids. Yeah,
Yeah.
RoboCop no steroids because
S-
RoboCop
s-
is fucking shredded, yo. I don't know what
Bro,
he's jacked.
it's crazy he
I knew
makes the weight too.
he have never eaten a salad a day in his life. This is all protein, dude.
Dude, that dude could take a shot. Guys, a fight that I've been getting asked about. I have action on this fight. Shout out to Youngin. If you're in the Discord, Youngin gives away some awesome moonshot parlays. Raw
Shout out
Dog,
Youngin.
Brandon Royval versus Lonnie Kavanaugh. With all you boys.
My lean, my lean is Lonnie Kavanaugh. I don't like the way Raw. See, the problem is Raw Dog. He been taking shots and he been getting dropped for a long time. But how
Yeah.
he fell in that Manel Cop fight, and then how he got finished, like that brain, the way his brain just switched off. And we see
Yep.
Manel Cop do the same thing to in his last fight. So maybe it's Manel Cop, but I just don't like a person getting that button touched and being in
Yep.
this many wars back to back, like Manel Cop, Joshua Van, and
Yep.
then before Joshua, it's just so many fucking wars, war after war. Um, I'm leaning um I'm leaning on the Brit. I feel like the Brit is more technical. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I feel like he's a shorter fighter by 5 inches, but I don't really believe either Brandon Royval got bad posture, or what. I
He
don't think that
does.
he's really, I mean, because he looks about 5'7" when he's in there. He don't look as big, but I feel like surprisingly, Loney, he fights long better. He can use all his tools better. He knows how to utilize his kicks. Take a step out, and then he knows how to come in, take you down, and control you. So he is like the GSP esque style fighter. That's who he remind me of, like a young GSP. And I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, you tripping, dude?" No, but he's a perfect mixed martial arts
No, he's like
artist.
no. Lonnie Kavanaugh comes from a martial arts family. This is a kid who grew up in the gym. Lifelong martial artist. He's solid everywhere, man. I don't hate the comparison, but whenever you compare a guy to a legend, you're gonna get pushback on it. I think
Yeah.
Brent. When I think of Royval in this matchup, it's similar when I was doing tape on the fight we just spoke about. Um, Corey Sandhagen. I feel like Royval, how Sandhagen had that window of a championship run, and I feel like that window has passed him. I think Royval, when he broke through in 2020 out of nowhere, subbing, he subbed fucking uh Kai Kara France. He guillotined Kai
Mm-hmm.
Kara France.
Yep.
Nobody really knew who this kid was, and then he fight. I'm going. He fights Moreno. He loses to Moreno, loses to Pantoja, a couple times, beats Moreno, and then he's coming off two losses to Van and Kopp. But I think there's holes in his game, and I think the matchup with Kavanaugh, because he can be technical on the feet, he's aggressive, he's a strong grappler. Um, and Royval, man, he's loopy. He does a lot of things unorthodox. He has these weird scrambles, and he gets away with it. And now I think as he's aging, we're seeing him get away with it less and less. And
Yeah.
that's why I like Kavanaugh here.
And I know a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, he beat Tatsuro Taira," and I actually had money on Tatsuro Taira in that fight. The thing
Split.
is, yeah, but the thing is, like I said, Loney's a little bit more complete. So like anybody who's leaning on Brandon Royval, don't. Because it's almost like Chris Weidman when he started getting. Well, I'm not gonna say Chris Weidman, but like sometimes you see a veteran and you're like, oh, this is the dude who went to war with Lyoto Machida. This is the dude who went to war with Vitor Belfort, whatever. Yeah, but there's only so many wars before you get in
Dude,
there with this young, fresh dude
when
and you
Chris
get fucking
Wyman
beat.
decided to throw a spinning kick against Luke Rockhold, changed his entire career.
His
That
entire fucking career.
What are you doing? He spins, he's
Why?
beating the brakes off of Rockhold, and he chooses to spin and be sexy with it, and
You
Luke
know why?
fucking buried him.
Do you know why he did that? You know
I,
why he
I've
did that?
I've had
Because
him on my
Vitor
podcast
Belfort.
before. Why do you think?
V- because Vitor Belfort did the same thing to fucking Luke Rockhold, and he knows that Luke Rockhold, his guard, he don't have a real good guard, so that's why he did that shit. I think he thought he was gonna get another Vitor Belfort type
It's
moment.
one of the when you think about like one of the like top 5 low fight IQ moments in UFC history. Chael Sonnen versus Anderson Silva's up there, but fucking Chris Weidman spinning on Rockhold for me is the top of the mountain. When you think about what it meant to the rest of the career and what it turned out to be, that's still every time someone brings Weidman up, I can't I can't not think that moment. We should think about the Anderson Silva knockout, but when I hear Chris Weidman, I think about him spinning on Rockhold. Absolutely insane. All right, boys, we digress. One of the boys. Let's talk about McGregor and Max while we're here.
Mm. Okay. I took the lead last time. Go ahead, Lucius. You take the lead. Is that
Okay,
right,
Christos.
so
Lucius? Oh, Christos.
McGregor.
Sorry, Christos.
Nah, all
I'm
good.
sorry.
Nah, it's all good, man. So yeah, McGregor and Holloway. Man, I don't know. I just don't like how McGregor looks. His body type, yeah. I just think Mac's gonna put the pace on him, and I think he could even get him out of there. I think if McGregor doesn't hurt him early or do anything in the first 2 rounds, I think he's cooked. So
It's a very it's a young man. Neither guy is young, but when you look at it, 5 years off in the we've seen this before in combat sports. We like to forget that we haven't seen it, and then guys who've been away for a long time, they have a comeback fight, and you're expecting the guy that you remember, and it's never the guy that we remember. Do you know what I mean? It's never the guy. It's never Nick Diaz against Robbie Lawler from 2004. You know what I'm saying? When Nick came back a couple years ago to fight Robbie in the rematch, and it's
You're right.
like one of the saddest. I didn't. That fight should have never happened because
yeah,
new fans don't know about what happened in 2004 when Robbie was 20 and I think Nick was 21, 22. And one of my all-time favorite UFC fights, and Nick starched him in the mid. Robbie chooses to punch with him in the middle of the octagon, and he gets knocked out. Fucking insane. And then we see the rematch, and we're expecting that, and you're. So and that's just one example. We've seen guys come back, and it's never the same. Benson Henderson just fought. He got starched against a guy that he would have mopped the floor with in 10 years ago.
Yeah, but Hobby Rara, the dude he fought, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, Hobby Rara, but that dude got crazy one-punch knockout power. Like,
Yeah, he's good. I get that could have been a bad example.
No,
What
but
the
you're
hell's
right.
Benson fighting that guy for?
No, but you're right, because Benson a long time ago, he had a good chin.
Benson was a dog, dude.
Yeah,
Benson, dude. Jesus.
Benson was the first fighter cutting from 190, 185 to cut down to 155. And the next day he's looking like a fucking bodybuilder.
Insane.
Like when he fought Frankie Edgar, it looked like a grown man versus a little kid. No disrespect to Frankie Edgar.
Yeah, that's back when you could use IVs though to rehydrate.
And he was big as shit. So
Bro.
I said all that to say this right here. I'm a props guy, so I'm about to dig into my props.
Okay.
I watched Max fight, and Max is like a fly on shit. He's like very annoying. Like you swing at him, and he's like, he just get away, and then he's right back in your face. Like Yair Rodriguez is probably one of the most, when it comes to striking, he's probably one of the best like technical strikers in all of UFC. I'm not talking about his takedowns. I'm talking about just his ability to strike, see a punch landed, and get out of the way. Max Holloway was able to like exert pressure on them and break Yair Rodriguez, and there's only two people who did that: Max and
Frankie Edgar.
Frankie Edgar, but he utilized wrestling.
I've never forgiven Dana for putting a 23-year-old Yair Rodriguez in there with a freaking savage like Frankie style. When Yair wasn't fully developed, Yair was already a star in Mexico, and Dana's like, fuck it, I'm gonna put you up against a 2-division champion grappler Savage. And it's like he got the brakes beaten off of him. I don't think he ever fulfilled his potential because of that fight.
Well, the thing is, you don't ever want to be on the bad side of a billionaire. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
because it's not like he needs money. So if you start doing pride with billionaires, they're gonna start. You know what? Fuck them. Put him in with Frankie Edgar.
Bro, I was shocked. Brandon Moreno became the first Mexican UFC champ. I thought for sure it was going to be Yair. Yair was still one of my favorites. And this is kind of, this is my beef with Zuffa Boxing. It's the similar thing with their philosophy on taking young prospects and just putting them in the blender.
I mean, we just seen a fight where Robert Merriweather was minus 2,500, and he lost. So So yeah, Zuffa boxing. I mean,
Tony
anybody
Hirsch,
who knows
Tony Hirsch Jr.
Tony Hirsch, back-to-back wins,
Yeah,
For Tony
he's
Hirsch.
a beast.
He's a beast. Diamond in the rough.
So,
Justin Valoria, another
so,
one.
so to stay my props. So I don't think the fight. I feel like the fight ends under 4.5 rounds because one, McGregor body. We've seen. I feel like Conor McGregor's mind is concrete, but his body isn't. Like we don't know if Conor McGregor has asthma, but I have asthma, and when I see him fight, he reminds me of an asthmatic because it's like there's a certain point in rounds two where he's hyperventilating and he's breathing in a whole bunch of air, but it's not reaching his lungs. So like, and this is something that you're not gonna know because HIPAA, why would Connor put that out there? Like, I got asthma. That's the reason why I gasped. But I feel like Connor be having asthma attacks in there, and this is a crazy take, but I've seen people. I mean, I've seen people fight, and I know asthmatics when I see them. Cause Conor McGregor body's gonna either break down on him, and when it does, Max is gonna stop him. I don't because this is Max at 170. All right, Max is a volume puncher. This motherfucker threw like 400 punches in a round, and not
Yeah,
in a round, but in a fight one time. I don't think that Conor McGregor can take 400 of this Max Holloway's punches.
yeah,
We've seen Conor. I mean, like we've seen fucking Justin Gaethje walk Ilya Taporia down and go punch for punch with Ilya Taporia at times in that fight. He did not do that with Max. He couldn't do that with Max. So,
yeah.
and if he couldn't do that with Max, I don't think Connor's going to be able to do that with Max.
Good
But I
point.
do feel like the fight starts in round two because I feel like Max said that this fight is going long, meaning that he is going to play. And if you watch the first fight, Max was able to evade all of Connor's backhands, not one or two, all of them.
But
You know what I
Connor,
mean?
Connor was landing that lead. Did Connor's lead uppercut slip? Throw, and he would land the backhand off of that lead uppercut, and that's gorgeous. You never, to this day, like you never see anyone in MMA slipping and then throwing the lead uppercut and then throwing the backhand. It's one of my favorite combos he throws.
I feel like Max Holloway's teeps and kicks now. He fought a boxer, Max Holloway. Now he's fighting like a boxer, kickboxer in Max Holloway. And Max Holloway, when he lacks in reach, he has very good legs,
He,
very
he, wa-
big Samoan legs. You know
he
what I
was
mean?
also fighting. He was also fighting a 20-year-old non-champion. This is a 34-year-old, I think now, former world champion. Seasoned. This is a different guy.
He was
If
fighting. Max was a lot different back then again because he was more like a pretty boy, young kid. Now he's a rugged older man. And
yeah,
I say this to say he don't care about how he look. He ain't arching his eyebrows. This dude is coming in. He's vicious. He's ready to fuck. I mean, I just think that. I mean, like, of course, in the chat I said that Conor McGregor has a puncher's chance, and if
yeah,
anybody could knock anybody out, it's Conor McGregor.
of
But
course.
my lean is the fight doesn't go to distance. It's under 4.5 rounds. Max lands the most strikes. I know this is crazy because that means that Connor he would have to be dodging all Connor's missiles from round one to round two. I feel like Max in this fight is going to land the most strikes. Um, and so I feel like it's going to be under 4.5. Max land the most strikes, and fight ends by knockout. There'll be no submission, nothing like that. This fight ends by Max either clips him and then follows him down and lands a few strikes. Because Max is not really like a submission artist either, because he hurt Yair and he couldn't get Yair out there. I don't see Connor tapping to Max. You know what I mean? Khabib had to do a lot to make Connor tap. I feel like this fight ends by knockout. All right, go ahead.
Christos, are you still there?
Christos.
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah.
Where's your money at? You like Max on the money line? You like Max by stoppage?
Yeah, I like Max on the money line. I think sprinkle on the stoppage as well. I don't think it's going to go to the distance. I've seen in the past Connor. He looks like he struggles later in the rounds when he does make it to the distance. And yeah, I think like Connor has to hurt Max early. I think to get success.
Hmm.
So yeah, if he can't do that, then I think Holloway will start to take over and goes He's game planning.
All right, guys. Yo, boys, Christos, Ali, I appreciate it. I got to wrap this up, man. Couple hours of live streams. We got the Australian
Definitely.
fights in about 6 hours. So we'll be streaming those as well, man. I appreciate you guys popping on, all right?
Yeah,
No worries, Johnny.
always good. I want to say, there's one more fight that I actually like.
Let's hear it.
One more fight that I actually like. I like Yanez most strikes landed versus Cody Garbrandt, because Cody, he's not the same anymore. So like if that prop, Yanez most strike landed, and you know what? Yeah, I'll put the rest on Johnny Knows Boxing. Hey, if you new, join the Patreon. It's amazing. It's a good community, and yeah, let's wrap it up.
All right, boys. I appreciate you guys, man. I'll see you guys in the Discord, all right?
All right,
Yes,
see ya.
sir.
Johnny, have a
All right,
good one.
boys. All right, Christos. All right, Ali.
See ya.
Boys, I'm tired. I'm tired. Second live stream of the day. Friday, it's 2:41 p.m. I'll take a couple more. 4 hours. Okay, so it's 4 hours. Jeez. I'm gonna go in the sauna, cook something to eat. I might get something to sip on. I don't know yet. I have boxing at 9 a.m. I haven't had a drink. I might get a cocktail. Who knows? I'll let you know. I'll keep you boys updated if I grab something to drink. It's Friday. McGregor round 1 KO. Stand on business. I guess that would be the route if you're going to take McGregor. You know, that's probably the move. Australia carve. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. JSB community, the best in the land.